Hey, welcome to the Kink'D podcast. We're your hosts, Mika,
Frankie,
Khira,
Alex,
and Krystle.
here to sort of detangle the kinks.
Wait, like combing?
no, we're not combing out our hair. We're deconditioning.
Unlearning the ideas that were imposed on us by others.
Sharing our stories as Black and brown women navigating the kinks of life, from personal growth, healing, and friendship.
Even the things too kinky to talk about in the office.
We're kinked as fuck.
Welcome back. You guys, this is episode 12 of season 1. You know what that means? That means that this is the season finale episode. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. We've talked to y'all 11 times already, and this is our 12th time. Isn't that something? We've had 11 topics, and this is our 12th. Frankie, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about, and we're saying it with our chest, this is not a
All of
hobby
the
anymore. It is not a hobby anymore. This is not a game. We're not here to play with y'all.
Come on, coach.
Listen, it is the fourth fucking quarter. Put your fours up. Everybody put your fours up.
Even though
We
we're going to
here.
the second. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Everyone has the fours up except for she's
Everybody.
doing her nails.
Yes.
How many nails you got done? At least 4.
She got applique over there,
she
paper mache going
multitasking
on.
like a bitch.
Okay, I was like, I got shit to do today, so gotta get it done while I
You
can.
guys doing makeup, hair, nails, all while recording.
Yeah. It is what it is. Nails done, hair lit. Alex got to go back and get the hair done, finish. She's looking great. And
Thanks.
we flourishing. We're evolving, all of us. And from the beginning of this season, we embarked on some definite changes, and we didn't know what this season was going to look like, from individual careers to this joint venture of this podcast. And I can't wait for the future to blossom for us.
Facts.
And so we're going to just take a quick reflection of this time that you got to know us and learn from us as well as we learn from y'all. But who wants to go first? Krystle, you had a major fruit from your endeavor.
Listen, when we started this podcast, I was a whole teacher.
Whole ass teacher.
Whole ass teacher, with a whole ass class, with a whole ass roster. School got out June 24th for me. Yesterday, so what's today? Y'all probably get this 2 weeks later, but it's August 21st, and your girl just had her first birth as a certified doula.
Woo
Snap.
Oh yeah.
And I'm booked for a birth in November. So, and I just finished a contract with a postpartum client. I also have I work part-time at a women's health clinic.
Oh, so this is not a
providing-
hobby.
It's not a hobby.
It's not a hobby.
Hopefully soon I'll be on 2 as a birth educator for them. So I'm doing the things.
Proud of you, girl.
Thank you. Last night my first birth, and I almost cried, but I didn't. But it was just amazing holding that leg as she, brought this baby.
Black
earthside.
babies.
He was black.
We still take all babies though. We still.
Exactly.
I mean, my postpartum
All
client that I
babies.
just closed with was a white baby. He was just cute. But,
White baby.
white baby. He was cute. He was chill. I loved him. He was chill. He was real chill. And, she was in labor for 24 hours.
That's
Helping her
no
bring
small
the
feat.
baby. Yeah, she did 5 pushes. No tearing.
Glory.
So, I told her, she went natural for a little bit. And I said, hey, I don't care if you get an epidural. My goal here is to get you out of here with a successful vaginal birth. And that's what we did.
Wow.
I'm, no C-section. I don't want that. And I looked at the doctor. I said, hey, go here. It's vaginal birth. And she was like, I'm with you. And I love that doctor. She was like, we got this. And she came in there. She put on her stuff. She was like, all right, let's get this baby hurt. So, he got here, and he was just cute. And he didn't like his peace being disturbed. You know, every time we try to move him, he's like I'm chilling on my mama. So that was great. Shout out to Frankie for letting me sleep on her couch the in between time at night. For this 24-hour birth, but I'm tired. I'll probably get a massage today, but this is not a hobby. You know, people are like, what you doing now? You do what now? You a midwife? I'm not a midwife. Midwives are professionally trained. They're more of the doctor side of the house. I'm more of the pain management, moral support, all those things. You know, I had the room.
Advocate?
Yes. Sometimes, but it's hard to advocate when a client doesn't really know what you do. So I'm like, hey, you got this epidural, but I need to put you in positions, you know. And so I had an old school nurse, and she was like, she's just gonna lay there. And I'm like, and then the doctor came in, all right, let's get this peanut. I was like, thank you, doctor. So I was like, all right, you heard what the doctor said. So
You know what's so freaking amazing? Our first episode, we talk about the issues of Black reproductive health. And here we are ending the season with you just advocating for Black women in real time, like speaking, you're walking the talk, girl. So it's just amazing how we came and introduced these tough topics, and here you are actually making your impact your way, and that's super dope, man. That's really dope. It's crazy, full circle, like 180.
it is, yeah. And it's just like, you know, I have another birth in November, so it's just like sometimes I'm in awe, and I'm just like, you really ain't a teacher. And school started, I was like, oh, shit. You really not going nowhere. You really don't have a classroom to decorate. You really don't have a lesson plan to do. So, you know, it's full circle. So it's something I always loved to do. I always wanted to be a doula, but I was like, oh, I'll do that when I have kids. And, you know, that'll be my second career, so I can kind of be a stay-at-home mom, but still help other moms. And I'm like, teaching got fucked up, and I said, fuck that. Let's do it now. What is holding me back? So I'm a birth and postpartum doula, so I help those moms at home in that transition, because once you have a baby, people forget about you. It's all about the baby. They forget about the mother. And, you know, her friends were calling her last night, we don't want to see you, want to see the baby. I'm like, but what about her? Because now her body's going through all these changes postpartum. You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes me feel bad because I've said that to a friend.
Yeah, like I make sure, like, when I don't like holding new babies anyway, because I'm just, you know, afraid. But whenever my friends have a baby, I go to their house and they're like, oh, here's a baby. I was like, oh, he kind of new and squirmy. I don't want that. I start cleaning up. I start, you know, so I was always being that postpartum doula. It was just natural to me. I'm cooking a meal for you. And I had a client once, all her friends came over. I'm like, if you're not helping her do shit, go home. Because she not here to talk. She don't have time to talk. Like, either grab a baby or go home. Cook a meal or go home. But, yeah.
How did you overcome the voices that, when you're transitioning from being an educator to doula, that said, no, not yet, no, not yet? So how did you even have those voices?
It was like, if not now, then when? You know, I still have the fears because, bitch, got a mortgage, you know, got a car note. And I'm still like, I got to figure out how to get this money by tomorrow.
Listen, I've had many a sugar daddy conversation with my peers and their
You know, the
experiences.
toes still might make its way to the internet. The toes still might make its way to the internet. You know, pennies, I might just
Hey,
rub tuna fish on it and just
we
sell
have
it.
the
Because I don't want them
funnels.
to have my dick.
We have the funnels for your farts.
Yeah, well,
Listen,
That's all
the
I'm
fart
saying.
funnel.
yo, Kink'D as
You-
fuck merch is
we got
coming
it.
your way. The funnels. Y'all think we playing? Fuck around and
You
find
know
out.
you dead serious, Frankie.
Oh no, I'm not the only one.
Like, I'm
gonna
just
do it.
playing.
out.
Fuck around and find out. Fart around and find out. Fart around and find out.
We trademarking that.
Fart around and find
Kyra, I
out.
can't over here hear you filing your nails and shit.
Well, Kyra and Mika, they had an extremely beautiful, unique art journey in the art world here this summer, from directing to acting. So it's two different perspectives in the field, and how y'all were like, we got these rehearsals. I don't know when we're
We
gonna
had to
record.
reschedule. We filming today. Well, I got rehearsal. We like,
I got rehearsal.
what's a hard out?
And mind you, I'm the newest member. I feel like I would say like we're a band, but I'm the newest member of the group. And so when I
boo.
first initially met these ladies, it was so upsetting to not know that they didn't lead with these amazing careers. Like I knew Mika worked in corporate, and I knew
Nonprofit.
a nonprofit organization. My apologies. And I knew Khira was an educator as well. But I'll go ahead and let them reveal what they really are.
What they really are.
What they should lead with. What they should.
Yes,
not
what they should
lead
lead.
with.
What they should have led with, but what they didn't.
No pressure. Go ahead, Khira.
I am, because Alex always does this to me, and I be like,
I know.
It's the nails.
That's why I'm like, you go, because that energy was.
She in the middle of doing her nails. It's so hilarious.
oh yeah, they coming out cute.
They are.
But so yes, I am a teacher by day. But the other thing that I am is a theatrical director. Sometimes by night, sometimes by day, just depending on the show that I'm doing. But yeah, I was assistant director for Dreamgirls this season at the Jubilee Theater in Fort Worth. And I also directed a show with them called Lil and Satchmo, which was the story of Lil Hardin and Louis Armstrong. And that was a toxic ass love affair. My God, just FYI, if anybody ever looks them up, that shit was toxic. But those are the two things that I have done this year, and I've been directing. I've been directing plays since college, so at least 2011, 2010. So I would say this is probably the 25th show I've worked on in my life in a directing capacity of some sort. So it was good. The stage is my home, especially directing. I love it. It's the thing that I know I want to do. But I also I love my 9 to 5. I love my teaching job at the moment because I'm a gifted and talented teacher. And it is very much so not like a regular teacher. And I love that I have autonomy and I have the ability to move around when need be because I am a pull-out class. I pull students out of the regular class. I feel like last time I said that, I was like, pull out. That sounds
That's what she said.
So I get students out of the regular class. They don't have a certain, the whole class comes to me. I get certain students. But yeah, I enjoy the things. And hopefully I will be consulting on a Broadway show this upcoming year. This year.
Lead with that.
Couple months.
In the next couple of months. So that'll be ideal. And y'all will hear about that in the stories and the video feed. Continue to follow us. We still posting content.
New York.
We still posting content, but you'll hear about that. I should possibly be in New York in October, November, working on a Broadway show. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Dope. That's hella dope.
Hell yeah.
Shoot. Well,
So-
I mean, go ahead.
I had a question. How'd y'all? Here's my question I've been asking the whole time. I'm like, do they get paid for this, or y'all just? Is it?
Oh, no, I don't do shit for free no more.
That part. That's
Yeah.
slavery.
Yesterday's price
Slavery.
is not today's price.
Okay, so I said, is this for fun? Because, I guess it goes with the theme, is this a hobby? I'm like, y'all just do this out of kindness of your heart? Or
No,
who
I'm
loves
not
the
doing
arts?
anything for free.
Or do y'all get a little
I'm not
coin?
doing anything for free.
Nah, my
No one
directing check it almost meets my teacher monthly salary.
It's $25.
when I do
She's
when
like,
I
"Give me
when I
$5."
direct. Yeah, it'll
Matter of fact,
almost-
$500 to pay for this water bill. I'm having them come out. Somebody's stealing my fucking water. Why the fuck
Well,
a single bitch
shit.
got a $500 bill? I'm sorry.
We were talking about making a tiny house compound for all of us.
Y'all can come
Listen,
back
you
here. I got a
were
big
talking
backyard.
about-
Let me look at my HOA and see what I gotta. If it's I
Real
gotta
life. Let's
get some
share
contracts and
these
shit.
co-op. Let's
No,
co-op
but
this.
you can get paid to do the things. Cause I have a
Yeah.
friend that they wanted him to be an understudy for another show, and for just being an understudy, no lines, no nothing. They were gonna pay him $600 a week to just sit in the background for the 8, 9, 10.
They
weeks.
hiring? 'Cause I can sit in the background. Take notes or
real
whatever
life.
for $600.
No, I mean he would be on the show if need be, but he would be in the
That's
show
fine.
if need be. But he was a understudy, and it was $600 a week. And that's big. That's like when you working at a a Broadway house or a regional theater. Those are the it's getting to that point though. Now before that, you might be getting paid $200 a week or $150 a week, which is still great. I mean, that's gas to get you to and from, doing the things. It just really all depends.
Then this is how the Ava DuVernays and the Lena Waiths are made. Like, sis, you gonna be glowing up
Listen.
after.
I
Girl, wait,
receive it.
girl.
Season 2, we're gonna be talking about how you just doing this full time.
Listen, because Ava DuVernay didn't pick up a camera till she was 35. So
Yep, amen. Mm-hmm. It's hella dope.
And
But
she's still
Mika?
really impactful in the career. Oh, sorry.
oh
No, go ahead.
No, go.
No, Alex. She's still. You're right. She still is very impactful.
In her educated in being an educator, one thing that was nice to see this summer is that she really follows her students' journey. How many babies, like she always calls them babies, like how many babies walked across the stage and
I went to
there's-
two
there's a few
graduations. I
remaining.
had two graduations this year, and I got two more. No, I got three. Oof. No, I got four next year, and then two more after that. And I'm done with all of my kids from my middle school
Yeah.
teaching days.
This
That-
year was my first graduating class too.
Yeah. This was my second year of graduating class. My
Second
first
year.
baby was last year. That's the one that currently lives with me. Story. Oh, that sounds weird. So I do have a.
Right?
I was like, let me clarify. I have one of my old students who just needed a stable environment to live in for a while. She currently lives with me. Cause I love my babies. I love my if I can, if they ever need me, I'm always be there. Like I got a core
Same,
group of
I agree.
kids that I love, and if you need me, I got you.
I just thought that was so amazing that you continue to walk out like with their journey.
Oh yeah, no,
I still
I love
talk to my
them.
grown kids too. They text me, all
Mm-hmm.
that. So like, I'm still an educator in my core, but I just couldn't stay for my mental sanity and stuff like that. I still love my
Yeah.
kids. They know where to reach me. The teacher Instagram is still live. They still message me. You know, he wasn't even my kid. He was texting me. He was like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine." He FaceTimed me. I'm like, "Why are you FaceTiming me?"
The kids be getting real comfortable, bro.
They be getting real
That's how it
comfortable. I
is.
had to tell him one time. I said, "Friend, I'm not your friend, even though I call you that. Not your friend."
That's
Why
how it
call
is
me
when you're
11
working
o'clock at
with
night?
people. When you're working with children, with families, like it's crazy. Anything having to do with like, I guess human service, right, or direct service to humans. Um, it it's something that doesn't really leave you if you have a passion for it, if you really did it from your heart, and if you made an impact in someone's life because of that, because like even though we're over here talking about all of the things that this season of change that we've all been in, and like this season, literally and figuratively, of our lives and of this podcast. For me, when the podcast became a thing, I was in a state of transition. Like I have been in a state of transition for a little over 2 years now. It's been a lot of changes. There have been like a lot of changes career-wise, and just my focus and how I express my creativity, and whether or not I get paid for it now too. And because for some time it was a hobby. Yeah, it was a hobby. It was like I was doing social work. That was my job. But I've always cared for people. Like I always help people. That's something that drives me, right? I love community. I love children and families. Like that's my thing. At the same time, I burned out because I wasn't taking care of like A1 team player number one, and that was me. And so I needed to really find ways to take care of myself. And so getting into therapy was one way, but also getting into the arts, like really getting into the arts, immersing myself in whether I'm creating art at home, whether I'm writing, whether I'm like watching art, if I'm going to museums, if I'm like going to plays. I always go to plays. Alex, you came to a play with me. Like I love, and Frankie has been to many plays with me. Like that's my thing. Theater is my thing. And so through my job that I had at the organization where I was doing social work was how I was first exposed to opportunities to be able to get on stage. And that was through like a volunteer perspective. So it was like from a volunteer role, excuse me. So it was like a hobby in a way, but it felt so much like home. Like this is what I need to be doing. I used to always play around as a kid, like if I was in a musical. Like That was my thing. I would be sweeping the kitchen and break out in song that I made up and, improv and shit, twirling and shit.
Hard knock
Couldn't
life for
dance.
us.
Busting my ass because I was clumsy. But but it was still my thing. And yes, Hard Knock Life. I love watching Annie. Like I used to watch musicals. I used to love the Disney movies. I can sing the whole fucking score to fucking Beauty and the Beast. That's my shit. With that, getting on stage felt like home, and being able to do that with the families that I served was even more impactful because it was through a program called Public Works Dallas, where these professional actors go out into different communities, community agencies, and they provide acting lessons to people who typically would not have access. And in the community that I served, it was in Bachman Lake here in Dallas, which is a community that's made up of mostly migrants, right? Mostly immigrants. And so that was their way of having access to what was at the time Shakespeare, But then that program has evolved and it has told other stories. Now, recently we did The Odyssey by Homer. So um, I know what's coming up next, and it's a Disney inspired thing, so I'm really excited about that. But because of that exposure and because of that experience, I started auditioning for other roles, and then in 2020, I landed my first casting in The Curse of the Puerto Ricans. But the pandemic put a halt to that, um, and so y'all heard from the last episode, Curse of La Familia, that The Curse of Puerto Ricans is going on now at the Bishop Arts Theater Center. This is my first contract, so I'm super excited. So no, it doesn't feel
Oh, didn't
a
know that.
hobby anymore. This feels like a job, and it has been a whole ass
It
fucking
has
job.
been.
I've been
That's
at
why I was
work
like, y'all do this
8 hours
for
on
free?
Saturday,
Y'all dedicated.
fucking nigga. Yes, like Tuesday through Sunday rehearsals. The only day off that I have is Monday. Now that we're in production, like we do, we have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I'm there all day Saturday. Like I got a text message from somebody on Friday, like, "Oh, I'm pulling up at 6 o'clock at the airport. Can you pick me up?" I'm like, "When? This weekend? Because I don't know if you know, but I'm
You gonna have to Uber,
busy
fam.
You are a
72 hours
star.
this fucking weekend." Like, it feels that way. Like that's
It is
humbling
that
though.
way.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing to have so much support. Like it's amazing to have people see you, to have people acknowledge your talent, your creativity, your craft. But not only that, to celebrate you. You know what I mean? Like that shit is dope. Like I finally am in a space where I can receive that. You know what I mean? Like I know my default is usually to be like, oh, it's a thank you, and it's a what is it that I always say? It's a team effort. Yeah, it is a team effort, but also like I gotta own my shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes sometimes take your credit, and it feels good to be able to do that. It feels good to be able to do that, even if I'm still struggling with a little survivor's remorse here and there, which I gotta say, like it's really easy for me to finesse this role because that's my role, like that's my story that I'm playing now. I wonder what'll happen when it's not that way. I'm looking forward to that challenge. So I've been putting myself out in different ways, auditioning by video, sending in my headshots and resume to other productions or production companies. So we'll see
Don't
where
for-
this goes. We'll
Don't
see where this
forget-
goes.
The Odyssey, you did the Odyssey too?
Yeah,
Come on,
I
you
mentioned.
did
Yeah,
that?
I just
Oh,
mentioned the Odyssey through Public Works, the musical at the Dallas Theater Center, the Tony Award-winning Dallas Theater Center. Shout out to them.
Because
Shout
baby,
out
they will
to
not let you
Arts
forget
in
that.
Dallas. Hello, hello.
Right, she was like, hold on, correction. But so yeah, like you working,
Yeah.
you've been booked and busy.
But
this
not just in
whole-
that. Yeah, and not just with that, but also like with the job, like the career
Yeah.
change. Whew,
Bitch,
total
we work.
shift.
like we tell
yeah,
Frankie
like,
when
I
she's trying to
yeah,
send
we
all
be
these
t-
messages. Bitch, we work during the day.
Fucking Frankie sends voice notes, 2-minute long voice notes during the day at fucking 10:30
11
in the
o'clock
morning.
in the
You're like,
morning.
hello, I'm in a meeting, my nigga, for the job that's paying
and I
my
don't
rent
trust
right
you
now.
to listen
Like,
out loud.
Word, that part.
Listen,
like,
because you don't
what
know
we
what's
talking
going to come out
about?
her mouth.
So what baffles me is that y'all don't have to answer now. You can answer when you're
But-
free.
Oh, we don't. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you
but
I'll
what's
forget.
great,
do
Here's the
send it,
thing.
like.
But here's the thing with me. I'll look at it because I'm thinking it's something I have to read, and I'm like, I can't deal with this, and then I will never go back to it. So that's the
No,
issue with me. I forget.
Sometimes you have to get to the point. You know the boundaries are important, and that's something that I had to learn. Like hardcore this. Like for a while, I've been practicing boundaries and learning, but like this year, I felt like I was challenged a lot and like flexing on some of those boundaries, but also establishing new ones. And one of them, like as much as I love this project, this hobby that became a job with the podcast, for example, like it did become a job. It did become a job, and it required
Listen.
more attention, more detail, more attention to detail, more collaboration, more time to plan, more like reflection, more fucking going back to do this. And come on, like we didn't even, we're not even the ones editing. The other day we did a little training on editing, and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck this motherfucker was doing this on editing all this motherfucking time. But yeah, with that, you know, everything takes work. Everything that you care about, anything that you want to develop, you really do have to work at it, and it can be exhausting. And like, I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I was in a really cozy spot. I did not want to get up, but
You was like,
here we
go
are.
without me. I was like, no, ma'am. Wake up. Grand
Plus,
Rising.
I'm tired as shit.
Bitch, I'm
like,
tired
really
too. I
tired,
just
shit.
was
And
birthing
I still gotta
24
get up
hours.
early tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Am I muted?
So,
Damn.
well,
I
I'd
said-
like to hear from somebody else. Unmute yourselves if you're muted, Frankie. Anybody else? I want to hear from somebody else. What are
I would say
your
I'm tired
stories?
too. I had a whole 24-hour birth.
Yeah, everybody has their journeys and reasons. Alex, you know, you being a newbie and was like, oh, fuck these bitches. And to come up and show, yo, you've been a force to reckon with. How's this transformation been for you?
And
I
also,
appreciate
Alex,
that.
you have
Yeah.
been like one of the most supportive motherfuckers.
Yes.
Like you
Right.
come to
She
everything.
shows up to everything.
All the reels you
Like-
see on the Instagram is Alex.
Baby, she be at the thing with the camera, with the things like
Yeah.
The
yes,
tripod.
let me show you in your light, let me show
Let
the
me
people
help
who you
this.
are.
You're not saying what you need to be saying in your bio. You not
Clean your lens.
Wrote Kyra's
lead with
whole
that.
bio.
Clean your lens.
I don't know. Well, first off, thank you, and I'm a comedian. I'm a stand-up comedian, and that I felt like the title of this episode, like, it's not a hobby. Like that was more of our response, because when I started doing comedy, people were like, "Oh, is this little hobby? Is this
Your
Nah,
little
bitch,
comedy
this-
show, you know, when they add a
right?
little,
Yeah, the littles, like
the
nah,
little,
it's the
your
only
little,
thing
your
I'm
little
good at.
comedy. You still do your little comedy.
Right, like this is comedy made me just accept myself fully every year after year, and still continues to do so, because again, it's the only career I could become successful speaking on my failures. So I know anytime I have a failed relationship or you know, something's not working out, something's gonna come out of it where
Yeah,
I'm
material.
able. Yeah, exactly. Material. I'm able to gonna be able to transition it into comedy. Comedy, like being a stand-up comedian, is a mildly narcissistic career, because I'm on stage. You know what I'm saying? You on stage by yourself. You ain't got a hype man. You don't got a band. I'm not. Prior to this, I wasn't in a podcast. Having to collaborate with 5 other creative individuals. So I felt a lot of growth in this season of just working well with others, and learning about, learning a lot about myself and learning how to communicate. Especially, and I mean, it wasn't like all glitter and gold. Like if I was upset or if I disagreed, learning to communicate that effectively as a 32-year-old adult woman to other respectable adults. I'm not going to come at them crazy, and I want to establish that relationship, and just learning that took a lot out of me, and I think just when we're around each other, when we talk with one another, we're very influential, and it's just truly amazingly dope. It's indescribable, because this was my life. Just the other week, right? I had gone to see Mika in the play, the Curse of the Puerto Rican. And then that following weekend, I go to see Dreamgirls, that Khira assisted directed. And then the following week, like, I'm performing comedy. Like, this is my life. Like, it's back-to-back art. And Mika as well. She took me to go see the musical waitress. That was my first time going to a play, a musical. I asked her like what to wear, like what is this? Like I
That was
became
so
really
dope.
yeah, I became really cultured because of this group of women. So
Like
I'm
a
very
business
appreciative of that.
cash or-
Yeah, and
And she was
just
cute, y'all. She came out mad cute. I
oh,
was
thank
like,
you,
okay.
thank you.
She had to
Seeing
look good for
everybody
you.
else.
And I mean, I show up for them because they've shown up for me, and just knowing me a short time, like I got to headline at the House of Blues this season. That was that just I feel like catapulted my career and I don't know, really sealed the deal for me. Like I knew comedy was never a hobby for me. That was just always my defense. Like it's not a hobby. But now more than ever, like I have that flyer in my back pocket. Like I headline. And now
Also,
Yes.
yeah, what's up?
also, Frankie sent us a little clip of y'all in the little magazine.
Oh, was it
Little
the Dallas Voice? Was,
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
what it was?
Don't
Well,
forget
Frankie-
about it. Lead with that.
Yes, ma'am. The Dallas Voice.
And I was featured in paper.
And you was cute.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank you,
you
thank
were.
you.
You was cute. And your little lip.
I had
I'll
a
be
leopard
confusing the
dress, but
points.
just
I'm gonna
Just
go ahead
big
and offer my
What does the
accomplishments in
future
comedy.
look like?
So
What does your future look like, Alex?
still, I mean, comedy's just a never-ending career, and that's the only part of my life where I can go with the flow. I'm there, like, all right, I know because of like God got me. Like I know when it comes to comedy, that's the only part where
Amen.
it's not nothing can really be planned or strategized or structured. I just know it's a path that's it's I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna be somebody. I am somebody. Just it's taking a while for everyone to get to know me, but otherwise, I just go with the flow, and yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian. That's my career.
Did she say she just goes with the flow?
Yeah, you know
lying.
what's
This,
weird?
my man, this
Scorpio,
is something she
stop
could
lying.
not do. She could not
I
do this.
did-
I can't. I
lying.
couldn't either.
I
She
did
could
mention
not.
this is the
Yo.
only part of my life. Like in comedy, I could go with the flow. Outside of comedy, we gonna have to do a step 12 program.
Not ride or die, ride and ask questions.
When you
So wait.
actually said the word flow, I looked down on my notebook and it said, literally, I didn't look anywhere else. I went dart, and it says, "I went with the flow of it all." Right when you said flow, and I was like, it was just a weird moment that just happened right now.
That's nice.
That's because I'm reading my notes, and I was like writing this shit in December, being a comedy show producer. Girl, you know what I was doing in December? Being depressed,
Oh,
crying into my pillow, being like, "Bitch, what you doing with your life? You fucked up.
I don't
you all
know.
fuck- I
But
don't know."
November is when we had the what the
Yeah, when we had the
November is when we
conversation.
had the conversation.
in
was like, "I
in
wanna do
December,
comedy."
girl.
No, November because it's my birthday.
It's wild. It's wild. In December, Alex, what were you doing?
oh, I was trying to be with my man in the state of Maryland. I was chasing, trying to force my
Nigga,
boyfriend to let me move
like-
in with him.
Not
all
forced.
this force instead of going with the flow of letting everything go it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Like I think about this, I'm not looking at this and that little your little comedy thing, and it's like not anymore.
My big comedy thing. Talk your shit. Cause what you got?
Yeah.
What just happened this week? Come on, Frankie.
Girl, we are debuting in Houston, House of Blues. The show is being extended to both Dallas
What
and
show, Frankie? What show?
What show? Come on.
the BPOC show, the Best People Comedy Show. And I it's crazy. I am contracted with Live Nation. That's wild to me. In December, that was not, I was being told, "You're not funny. The fuck are you doing?"
I didn't tell you that. I was like, I'm glad you're funny, because I'm like, nah. Sis,
It wasn't
that-
you. Trust me, it wasn't you. It was the one I was looking forward to hearing from. And it's, you hear those voices where you thought they would support you on anything. And then it turns out when you actually do it and they're like, "Oh, you sure about this? You sure about quitting your 6-figure career to do this? This don't make sense. You okay?" And it's like, damn, for the first time, I'm living authentically myself. And you can't get any love from people that probably can't do it for themselves. And
little
you just got to
jealousy.
march forward. And just march forward. So from there, had my first comedy class in December, and now contracted in 2 House of Blues locations, featured in Dallas Voice.
Take that, bitches.
Shout out to Rich Lopez. He reached out to me. He was like, I want to interview you and your headliners. I was like, oh yeah, go ahead, hit up Alex. Go ahead. We're gonna give some flowers to Josh Edwards too. And hey, what I appreciate about comedy is that you can actually talk about the truth and laugh about it. And that is the unhinged thing about this art form that I just fucking respect. So I couldn't do that in the office. I couldn't do that as a diversity and inclusion manager. I couldn't do that as someone speaking to a white executive, trying to tell them the truth, and you get reprimanded. You get retaliation. So I wanted to do it where I can do it my way. And so I went full force with it. It's scary. I'm not going to lie, but I was sharing with Khira the other day. I may not be in the riches. I may not be at Kevin Hart level, but I'm wealthy in time, and I can't trade that off for anybody else. For real.
Explain that wealthy in time.
Wealthy in time. Well, in economics, we're taught that the number one resource is time, yet we don't own it in our society. So what we do, we give it to somebody else in exchange for status, for economic resources. Obviously, you need the money to fuel. It's all energy. But they own you and your time. So when you're having meetings from 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. globally, worldwide, and half of your face goes limp, and you're wondering why, you got a fucking stroke, my nigga. You're working too hard, my nigga. And so that whole lesson right there, I just love this journey of this podcast, and you ladies have been full force on this, and the way it just blossomed. I really do appreciate you giving your time to this.
Thank you for starting
really
this
do love
idea. It's all you.
And we
Nah,
ain't
it's all
done
us.
yet.
And we ain't
Season 2
done yet.
We're
coming.
growing. We about to get money off this thing. We looking for sponsors.
Bitch, we out. Right. Bitch, we outside.
But
Cut the check,
Yeah.
as Mika usually says.
cut the check, everybody. You hear me? All right. So that is a beautiful way to wrap up for this show and this season. We will see you guys back in season 2. Signing off for the end of season 1. I am. Oh, side note. Sorry. Almost forgot. If you want to get in contact with us, because again, we want some sponsorships and all of those things, you can contact us. You can contact us at info@kinkedaf.com. That's info@kinkdaf.com, and Kink'D on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And I am Khira Haley, signing off for the last time for season 1. You can find me, Khira, KhiraHailey, on Facebook and Instagram. Mika.
That's right. I'm Mika at Bronxtress. That's BRONXTRESS on Instagram. Frankie.
This is Frankie. It's been a beautiful journey, guys. Frankie does comedy at IG.
And this is your girl Alex Barrios. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, a TikTok, Alex Barrios Comedy, and you spell Barrios BERRIOS.
And it's Krystle. You can follow me on Instagram at KYTO6.
All right. And let's try this for the last time for this season. Hopefully we get it right.
Finale.
And we're Kink'D
Kink'D
as fuck.
It was
That did something. It made something happen.